Hello, trading is closed on February 5, 2018. Wow, what a day. My last call said unless we gapped up smartly, that an all-day drop on Friday tends to carry through into Monday. Obviously, we didn't gap up smartly. I said if we gapped up smartly, we had some targets. I wasn't predicting such a gap, but I said if it happened, these were the targets. Well, it didn't happen, so the optional target we'll just forget. This one we'll add to the list. Here was a target we had from back January 5, and even after a month, the market remembers the number as the support and resistance level. During the day, MEJT said this drop is not for keeps, gives us a target of 27, 23, 24, most likely to print tomorrow. I would just forget it. The system says the times that the market loves to leave these numbers in the dust is at times of major changes in trend and when the market's in a strong impulsive move. So this is the time when you can't really count on this to print. It isn't a prediction that won't print, even though it seems out of the question at the moment. But this is the kind of time you just write these numbers down and use other things. Well, we had this number has printed. We'll cross it off the list. These numbers have already printed in the futures market, and they may well print tomorrow, but printing in futures might have relevance, but it's not enough to satisfy the target. Well, we were looking for a day with an early low and a late high. That's actually what we got. I know anyone just looking at this would tell me it's high to low. All I can say is that I'm pretty confident it's not. The thing that really gives it away, two things give it away. One is that the general direction of the day isn't how you make the decision. It's based on the times, which are spot on, and also based on the direction of the counter trend move in the middle of the day, which is down. The trend is normally up. And of course, there's also the rule that every 32 days the pattern repeats. There have been a few confusing patterns if you go back every 32 days, but in general, I think this is a day which is low to high. When it closes like this, it usually leads to lower prices. Unless, of course, you gap up over this high, which looks completely out of the question, but so did a drop of this magnitude. Well, we are way oversold. For the sake of completeness, I'm going to go over some of the a few of the oversold indicators, and then I'm going to forget them all. This counts as a DeMark sell signal. We've now gone under the TDST line. Support goes to a bar under the line, but of course support doesn't have to hold. It's only regular trading hours that count, and we're way down here, way under the lower Bollinger Band. It usually isn't a time to institute a new short position, so I guess anything can happen overnight. If you want to go long, that's one thing in your favor. And of course, one well-known oversold indicator is when it's the headline story in the big newspaper. That usually means that the drop's over. Here's the catch. At the end of a long drop, oversold indicators like that are positive. But at the beginning of a drop, they're very negative. So to me, it just says lower prices are still coming. This is the pattern which called the top. I'm reminded of a story of a well-known market analyst who called a market low perfectly. And there was a big headline in one of the trade journals saying, Trader X calls market low, and Trader X responded by saying the headline should say, Trader X calls market low on his 5th attempt. And I feel like I called the market high on maybe not my 5th attempt, but certainly not my 1st. I do think that high is going to stand. As I said, we do have pretty strong indications we're going to reverse. I think we're in for a big wave down, which is just beginning. We have a lot of MEJT targets, which, because of past history, I strongly suspect are going to print. Over the long run, we have maybe 2 or 3 targets a year which don't print, and that would require a pretty big drop. That's 2 or 3 targets out of 650 a year. Here are my objectives, my price limit, and I still think we're going to probably return all of the money we made since the Trump election. You may recall that the day Trump was elected, futures hit 2028. I think it was like 2028.50. There's a rule which is, then when the market reopened, we didn't come anywhere close to it. There's a rule which I've seen fail quite a few times, but usually works, which says, it says if you hit an extreme like that in futures, at some point you're going to hit it in the cash market too. Since we traded in cash over this high, even though briefly, the rule says at some point we're going to hit new highs, and I still believe that. But in the meantime, I think we have a long drop in front of us, and I don't think it's going to end right here, although I can't prove it. For tomorrow, we do have a target. I don't think it's going to print. Typically, in spite of all these oversold indicators, when you have a low to high pattern, further lows come. Futures are already way down. I can't say whether to go long or short at this price, and frankly, TradeStation won't even let you trade overnight now because of all the volatility. But I think we've hit a major high and much lower prices are coming, and the only trades I would be taking here are looking for places to add to shorts, and that's today's call.